So hey folks, and welcome back to another video. And today I've actually put the bimini on the boat. I'll just spin the camera around now and you can see that. Okay, so this bimini I've actually purchased from a company, actually it was a UK website, but I think it's made in India. It's not stainless steel. You'll have to excuse that slapping. It's not my ropes on the mast, but it's extremely windy down here, as you can probably hear. Yeah, but this bimini has aluminium poles, as I said. It is onto the original enclosure cover, so I don't need to drill any decks or anything like that. And also I've added a connection, a stainless steel connection to the rail at the back, so I can put the backstay onto there. But yeah, she looks pretty good. Quite happy with that. Obviously it's not something that I'll use when I'm sailing along, but when you're in harbours and things, I think it'll be quite nice just to get some shade in the boat, and also if it starts to rain while you're having a spot of supper at night. Yep, quite happy with that. The only thing is the backstays that come off the mast do touch the back, so I'm going to have to put some, probably, you know, like the tubes that you go swimming with, just cut a piece of that and pop that on there just to stop it rubbing against it. It is just touching it, so yeah, I need to fathom something out to stop that chafing. Obviously it's only tight against it while it's actually out like it is now. When I put it back, it's a little bit looser against it, but yeah, can't be helped. Now the other thing is the engine. So I've taken the engine off the back of the boat, the outboard engine. It's a Yamaha 3.5 horse, I think. There's no markings on it. It came with the boat, but I'll put an advert in the marina office for this. If you want to make me an offer on it, then just drop a comment below, but it would be collection only. Perfect working order, so I believe. I've started it once and it seemed fine. It's got a full tank of gas. So yeah, another modification to the boat, and yeah, quite happy with the way it looks, and also that cockpit table just inside now. She's absolutely set, really is. So all the big jobs have been done. Anchor winch, electric from Lumar, and all I need to do now is just go up and silicone the holes where I've put the wires through and fed them through from the anchor locker. So that's the next job that I'm doing just now. There's one other thing that I did put on the boat. Now, if you've watched the previous videos where I sailed the boat up from Milford Haven, the VHF radio malfunctioned. It was an old unit, and when I was in South Wales, I can't remember the marina name now, they had a marine chandelier shop, and I went in and purchased a new VHF, which is behind me, and also an external unit that goes on the helm. But I'm glad I replaced it, and the only thing is it was a little bit smaller than the hole where the other one came out. So these days it's dead easy to get stuff. I asked Google, and Google came up with a company or somebody probably at home actually that has a 3D printer, and they made a beautiful surround that actually locks the unit in as well, so it's really easy to fit with this. I can't remember who I bought it off now, but it was from eBay, and it's for this specific unit. So let me show you that. Okay, so you can see the icon. So this black surround, that's the 3D printed bit, and I think it looks pretty smart now. It just finishes that panel off and there's no gaps. So yeah, really happy with that. Okay, so more boat upgrades. This one I've been considering putting on the boat just as a extra power backup, really. I still need to put some lithium on the boat, and also some solar panels somewhere just to top the battery bank up, and also the house battery and things like that. That will be done towards the winter time, but in the meantime, while we're sailing locally and things, I wanted a little extra power so that we have some 230 volt on board, and also power to charge mobile phones, run a hairdryer, anything like that. So I looked at the sailing channels, and I looked at what battery or power source devices that they're using currently, and a lot of them were coming back with BLUETTI. So in this box, or rather not because I've unpacked it already, is a BLUETTI AC60 portable power station. I didn't envisage putting this where I was going to put it on the boat, and I'm going to show you that shortly, but it's the perfect size, I think, for this vessel. There is a 120 watt solar panel, which I'll pop a picture on the screen just now, coming tomorrow, and that's literally a portable one that I can fold out on deck and just run the cable through the window of the boat while we're at anchor somewhere, to, let's say, to just charge the BLUETTI device back up again. Okay, so the AC power output on this device, according to the specs, is 600 watt in total. And also it has 2 expansion ports that you can actually add BLUETTI's external batteries, so you can actually tag batteries onto it to obviously make it more powerful and last longer. Okay, I'll show you the unit shortly, but what you get in the box as well is a mains power lead. This is a UK plug, so you can plug it in to charge it if you've got shore power or access, or if you take it home and plug it in. A lot of people use these for RVs and camper vans and things. You've also got a cigarette lighter socket to charge it as well. Now I actually have one on my mains panel, so I can charge the actual device when we're rolling along with the engine on. Also you get a solar power connection. This goes on to the solar panel that I'll be showing you in the next video. So that's all the leads you get. Currently you can get different ones. Also there's an app, so you can control the thing from your app, and you can check and monitor status and stuff like that. So let me show you the device and where I've put it. Okay, so on the Bavaria 36 that we have just here, we've got my nav station just here with my VHF and the radios and things like that. But just in this corner here, there's like a storage compartment, a cubby hole, and before I've just stored things like hats, binoculars and stuff like that in there. But the actual device fits in perfect, and there is actual space either side of it and above it. But also this storage unit has these lats that go across, which are all screwed in place, so it can't actually fall out of here at all. There is a space above it, because on the top of the device you can actually put your mobile phone to wireless charge. So that's a perfect place, and I didn't envisage putting it here, but I just had a little bit of a brainwave the other night while lying in bed, and I thought, hang on, I wonder whether it'll go in there, because that would be perfect to store it and just keep it in situ. Then I don't have to have it on a table anywhere. Obviously if I want to take it out of there, I can by just undoing 2 screws and, you know, take it out. But yeah, that sits very well there. Now I mentioned the cigarette lighter socket charger. I've actually got a cigarette lighter socket charge point just here. So literally I can put that into there, and then I can plug that into the unit to charge it. So I can actually charge it while under motoring with the engine, which is great, as well as solar. So I'm quite looking forward to getting that done. But yeah, let me take these radios off out of the way so you can see it. Okay, so to turn the unit on, we'll just press and hold for a couple of seconds, and there you go, it boots up. Now on the left just here, you've got the input, so this is when it's charging. This is the percentage that's left in the battery, and then on the right is the output. So I mentioned we've got the mobile phone charging on top, so if I pop my daughter's phone on there and switch the DC on, so that will charge your mobile phone just sat on top. Obviously when you're going along, if you're rolling about with the boat, that's going to fall off there unless it's on a rubberized mat. But yeah, while you're at anchor, that's one way, and then you've got your USB-Cs and USB sockets just there, which is good. So you've got 2 3-amp USB and a 100 watt USB-C, so good for laptops and things like that, which is great. Also you've got your DC output as well that you can charge from the cigarette lighter socket. So that's DC, and then you've got your AC that you can switch on for the 230 volt sockets there. So 2 of those, 600 watt device. I think it's pretty perfect for boating, and all of the reviews that I've seen of these devices are pretty good. You can get these in 700 watt, 1000 watt, up to 2000. watt, a little bit bigger, but like I said, you can actually add batteries to these and store them away under the seating area or wherever on different lengths of cable. So yeah, that's the new device for a little bit of extra power on the boat. So finally got lithium on the boat, and I'll just turn it off. Okay, so I'm not sure what the name of these things are, but I've seen them on many sailing videos, and they're obviously to prevent the sail. They're obviously to prevent the sail from chafing on these lines, especially the Genoa that they're set up for. So I put one on each line, just at the front, and also just here on the other side as well.